So, hello everybody. First of all, many thanks to Claire for introducing me. My name is Keira. I'm a textile and dress display specialist from the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. And as Claire has mentioned, I will be giving an overview of some of the work that went into preparing Unveiled for its international tour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick through this presentation fairly swiftly, and then hopefully we'll have some time at the end in case anybody's got any questions for me. Okay. So to begin with, a little bit about the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, where this exhibition was put together. The V&A is widely considered to be the world's greatest museum of decorative arts. The collection, containing around 2.7 million objects, includes fashion, textiles, sculpture, furniture, prints, drawings, books, photography, paintings, jewellery and metalwork. It also encompasses a large collection of theatre and performance materials, and the collections held by the Museum of Childhood in Bethnal Green. The site in South Kensington, which we can see behind me, covers about 12 acres of land and welcomes about 4.6 million visitors every year. So these are just a few of the many exhibitions, loans and displays which have been prepared and shown at the V&A in the last 4 years. And of course, we not only show our collections in London. In 2010, the V&A sent 20 touring exhibitions to 43 venues worldwide, where they were seen by 1.4 million people. Now, Unveiled is the first exhibition which the V&A has sent to Te Papa, and it's been a real privilege to work with the staff here this first time. So I'm going to move a little further behind the scenes at the V&A now. I work in the Textile Conservation studio, and as a department, the conservation team are responsible for assessing the suitability of objects for display and for travel, as well as for the upkeep of the objects, and making sure that they are stable enough to be displayed and travelled. The V&A Conservation Department consists of around 60 permanent members of staff across 8 specialist studios. In addition, we have several staff who are employed on casual contracts or as interns and volunteers. So here you can see the Textile Conservation studio, where the majority of the work on Unveiled was carried out throughout 2010. At present, we have 15 members of staff working in this space. And of this 15, we have a team of 5 costume mounting specialists, of which I'm one, and we have 10 conservators. So we're quite busy in the studio at the moment, although I've been away for 6 weeks, so I've been missing what's been going on. We have a huge range of projects for temporary exhibition, permanent display, and outgoing loans. We're currently preparing exhibitions on British design, ball gowns, and Hollywood costume, all for display in 2012. We've just completed work on a fantastic underwear exhibition, which will go on an international tour starting in 2013. And work is now well underway on the redisplay of our permanent fashion galleries, which will reopen in May 2012. And I think that's enough of an introduction to the V&A, and now I'm going to start talking a little bit more about the Unveiled exhibition itself. So I began working on the project in summer 2009. Prior to this point, many of the objects underwent conservation treatment by a private conservator. This wouldn't normally be the case, but due to commitments on other projects, such as the redisplay of our medieval and Renaissance galleries, there wasn't really time in the work schedule for the Unveiled exhibition. So the exhibition is comprised of 46 dressed figures, including several outfits which are displayed along with their accompanying accessories. There are also several separate accessories, including veils and shoes, which have been positioned chronologically throughout the display. And what I'm going to talk about today is mostly costume mounting, what it is, why we do it, and what it achieves. I'm going to talk about developing wigs, which we did specifically for this exhibition, and how we decided to display the veils with the costumes. I'm also going to talk about the packing and crating of objects for travel, including the dress that you can see at the bottom of the screen the dress that was worn by Margaret Wigham when she married in 1933, which has a 3.7 metre long train. So costume mounting. Putting an outfit on a mannequin can at first appear to be a very straightforward task. People are often surprised to hear the amount of time that goes into the mounting of three-dimensional textiles for display. The real purpose of costume mounting is to assist in the interpretation of the garment, informing the viewer as to the correct period shape or silhouette, while simultaneously supporting the garment and preventing damage from occurring while it is on display or during travel. Here you can see a few examples of costume mounting in process during the preparation of the exhibition. However, in order to explain what I mean by costume mounting, I thought I'd choose one object from the exhibition and talk through the process it has undergone prior to leaving the museum. So if anybody's seen the exhibition already this morning, they might have seen this dress. This police robe was worn on November the 3rd, 1834, by Mary Ann Grace Quinn when she married Herbert Mayo at St Mary's Church in Stoke Newington. The dress is made of white muslin, which has discoloured to a yellowish colour over the years, and it is lined with ivory silk. Along the bottom edge of the skirt and up the centre front opening, the dress is decorated with white floral embroidery. The bodice has been ruched, with the fullness gathered into a straight waistband, while the fullness of the skirt is created by deep pleats around the front and sides, with heavy gathering at the centre back of the skirt. The pelisse is fastened with brass hooks and eyes, 2 at the waistband and 1 at the neck. In addition to this, it is stitched together at the centre front beneath the bow, which you probably can't see very well on this image, but we'll see it later on, to prevent it from opening fully. The dress also has full sleeves with fitted cuffs, which are gathered into triangular inserts in the shoulder, which elongate the shoulder line and enhance the sloping shoulder line fashionable during this period. So once an exhibition or display has been decided upon, one of the team of mounting specialists will assess the objects that have been selected alongside a conservator. The conservator will be assessing if the object needs to undergo any conservation treatments, while the mounting specialist will measure the internal dimensions of the costume in order to determine what type of mannequin it would fit onto. And here you can see one of our assessment sheets. This is the assessment sheet that we filled out for the muslin pelisse. And if you can make out the measurements, you'll be able to see that this dress required a mannequin with an extremely small waist and bust. So at this stage, we also begin to think about any underpinnings which will be required. And we begin to note down the hours these will take to make and the costs involved in purchasing the materials. At this stage, we also begin to assess the packing the garment will require if it is going to tour. This gives us a good estimate as to how many hours need to be allocated to a particular project. It also helps us to give feedback relating to the budget for purchasing materials and mannequins.